There is a war happening inside you right now. One that never makes noise, never draws blood, and never announces its victories or defeats. Yet it shapes everything about your life, the direction you're heading, the respect you feel for yourself in quiet moments, and the future you'll one day look back on. This war isn't against the world outside. It's between two versions of you that live in the same mind and body. One wants ease, safety, and immediate relief. The other knows what you're truly capable of and refuses to settle for less. These two forces pull in opposite directions every single day, and most people lose this battle without ever realizing they're fighting it. If those words stir something in you, that subtle tension you've felt but never quite named, then you're already further along than most, because awareness is the first crack in the armor of the side that's been winning. Today, we're going to pull this silent war into the light. We'll name both sides clearly, show how the losses add up over time, explore the real cost of continued defeat, and then lay out the precise system to shift the balance of power so that the version of you that deserves to win finally takes control. This isn't about quick motivation or empty promises. It's about understanding the deepest conflict you'll ever face and learning how to fight it effectively. Stay with me until the end, because losing this war quietly is the easiest thing in the world. Winning it changes everything. Let's start by giving these two opposing forces the names they deserve. The first is your current self, the part of you that prioritizes comfort above all else. It doesn't want harm to come to you. It simply wants life to feel manageable right now. It speaks in calm, reasonable tones. You've had a long day. You deserve to relax. One more episode won't hurt. Starting tomorrow will be fine. It's protective in its own way, but its protection comes at a price. It keeps you small, predictable, and stuck. The second force is your potential self, the part that sees farther. It remembers the goals you once set with fire in your eyes, the standards you know you're capable of meeting, the life you quietly admit you want when no one is listening. This self is quieter, more patient, but also more insistent. It shows up in flashes of clarity. You know you can do better than this. This isn't who you really are. Stop wasting what you have. These two selves share the same mind, the same body, the same hours in the day, yet they want very different things. And every single decision you make, no matter how small it seems, is a vote for one side or the other. When you reach for the phone instead of opening the book you've been meaning to read, the current self gains ground. When you choose the easier meal instead of preparing something that fuels you properly, the current self strengthens. When you put off the difficult task for later, and later never comes, the current self celebrates another quiet victory. Each of these moments feels harmless in isolation. They feel like relief, like common sense, like self-care. But over time, they accumulate into a pattern that slowly tilts the entire war in one direction. The potential self rarely fights loudly. It doesn't throw tantrums or demand attention. It simply withdraws a little more with each defeat, growing quieter, more distant, until one day you barely hear it at all. That is how most people lose this war, not in one dramatic moment of surrender, but in 1,000 small, unnoticed ones. To make this real, let's look at someone ordinary, someone you might recognize parts of yourself in. Imagine Alex, 32 years old, decent job, friends, health that's still okay, nothing dramatically wrong on the surface. Alex wakes up most mornings with the intention to make the day count. The alarm goes off at 6:30, and for a brief moment, the potential self is in charge. Today, I'll go for that run, eat clean, and finally start the side project I've been talking about for months. But the current self wakes up too. It feels the warmth of the bed, remembers how tired Alex was last night, and whispers, "Just 10 more minutes, you deserve it." 10 minutes become 30. the run never happens. At work, Alex opens the document for the project that could lead to a promotion or even a career shift. The potential self feels the excitement, but the current self notices the notification bar lighting up, a funny video from a friend, a quick scroll through social media just to wake up. 20 minutes disappear. Lunch comes. The potential self remembers the meal prep plan from Sunday. The current self sees the delivery app open on the phone and thinks, "One burger won't kill me, I'll be good tonight." Evening arrives. The gym bag is by the door. The potential self feels the pull. The current self feels the fatigue from the day and suggests, "You worked hard, you earned rest, start fresh tomorrow." Tomorrow comes and the pattern repeats. Alex isn't lazy. Alex isn't a bad person. Alex is simply losing the silent war, one small battle at a time. Years pass. Alex looks back and wonders where the time went. The body is softer, the savings are thinner, the dreams are quieter. The potential self is still there, but its voice is barely a whisper now. Alex is not alone. This is how most lives unfold, not in catastrophe, but in quiet, daily surrender. The cost of losing this war isn't always obvious in the moment. It reveals itself slowly, in layers. First comes the erosion of self-trust. Every broken promise to yourself chips away at the belief that you can rely on your own word. Then comes the quiet dissatisfaction that becomes background noise, a constant low hum of something's missing that you learn to live with. Later comes regret, sharper and more specific, the realization of opportunities not taken, skills not developed, relationships not deepened. Eventually comes resignation, the acceptance that this is just who I am, when in reality it's who the current self trained you to be. This is the true tragedy of the silent war. It doesn't feel like losing while it's happening. It feels like living. If Alex's story feels familiar in any way, if you recognize patterns of your own in those small daily surrenders, pause for a second and do this. Hit the like button. It's a small act, but it's your acknowledgement that you see the war now. And in the comments, write one sentence. One battle I lost today. Name it and release its hold. I'll read every comment. You're not fighting alone anymore. Now, let's shift the balance of power. Winning the silent war isn't about sudden heroic effort. It's about changing the conditions of the battle so thoroughly that victory becomes inevitable. Here is the system, 6 interconnected strategies that, when applied consistently, weaken the current self and strengthen the potential self until the war tips decisively in your favor. Strategy 1. Make the war impossible to ignore. Every evening, take 5 minutes to review the day with absolute honesty. Ask yourself 2 questions and write the answers. Where did my current self win battles today? Where did my potential self win? No judgment, no excuses, just clear observation. When the war becomes visible, it can no longer hide in the background. Awareness alone begins to shift the momentum. Strategy 2. Redesign your environment for victory. The current self feeds on easy access to comfort and distraction. Remove that access. Place your phone in another room during focused work. Delete or deeply bury apps that pull you in. Prepare your clothes, meals, and workspace the night before so good choices require 0 extra effort. When the environment favors growth, the potential self gains ground without constant fighting. Strategy 3. Choose your battles wisely. You cannot fight on every front every day. Energy is finite. Each morning, identify 1 to 3 critical battles, the ones that, if won, move you meaningfully toward the life you respect. Win those, no matter what. Let lesser battles go if necessary. Focused effort wins wars. Scattered effort loses them. Strategy 4. Attach real consequences to surrender. The current self hates pain more than it loves pleasure. Create stakes that make losing hurt. Share your key goals with someone who will hold you accountable. Set financial penalties for missed commitments. Make public declarations that failure would be embarrassing. When surrender has a real cost, the potential self gains a powerful ally, consequence. Strategy 5. Reinforce victories immediately and meaningfully. The potential self needs fuel too. When you win a battle, even a small one, pause and acknowledge it consciously. Not with indulgence, but with recognition. I chose growth today. I honored my potential. This internal reinforcement strengthens the neural pathways associated with discipline and delayed gratification. Strategy 6. Accept the lifelong nature of the war. There is no
Strategy 6. Accept the lifelong nature of the war. There is no final peace treaty. The current self will always exist. It will always whisper. Winning means showing up prepared every day, knowing the battle continues. The goal is not to eliminate the current self, but to reduce its influence to the point where it no longer controls the outcome. Daily vigilance becomes the price of freedom. This silent war is the only conflict that truly defines a life. Every external achievement or failure traces back to who won inside on the days no one was watching. Most people lose this war gradually, comfortably, without resistance. They live lives of quiet compromise and die with their potential largely untouched. But you have seen the battlefield now. You understand the stakes. You know the strategies. The question is no longer whether the war exists. It's which side you will serve starting today. One conscious choice at a time, you can shift the balance. One victory at a time, you can strengthen the self that deserves to lead. The current self will resist. Let it. Your potential self has been waiting. It's stronger than you think. Now give it the battles it needs to win. If this video found you at the right moment, if it named something you've felt but never articulated, take these 3 actions now. 1. Comment one sentence, one battle I lost today. Name it and release its hold. 2. Like this video as your commitment to fight differently. 3. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the next truth will help you win more battles. You're no longer losing in silence. You're fighting with awareness. And awareness changes everything. The war continues tomorrow. Be ready to win.